Hello, everyone. In today's video, we'll be sharing how little people, big world's Tori Roloff, happily gave birth to twins. Look how this new life has completed their family and how the whole family is overflowing with joy. A new ray of hope. The morning sun was shining through the curtains in Tori's bedroom with a soft, golden light. Lying in bed, Tori's eyes were filled with a strange feeling of nervousness and excitement. Her stomach was not as flat as it used to be. It was heavy, sometimes pulling strangely. The movements of the two children were more noticeable under the touch of Tori's hand. She smiled slightly, then tears came to her eyes again. Waters of joy. Jack Roloff was standing on the porch. He was looking out, his arms crossed, but his mind was completely on Tori. He was thinking, today is going to be the most important day of our lives. Two little lives are coming into our lives together. Hello, friends. Welcome to my channel. I hope you are well. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon. Tori sat up with a slight twitch and looked at Jack. Jack, I'm a little nervous today. It seems like the kids want to come today. Jack smiled and said, so we're ready. Is the bag in the car? Tori nodded and answered, yes, everything is fine. Jack came over and put his hand on hers. You know, I'm always there for you. We can do this together. Tori smiled into his eyes, but suddenly tears welled up in her eyes. You really are my strength, she said. For breakfast, Tori ate something light: eggs, toast, and raw fruit. Jack kissed the cuff of his shirt. They would remember these little moments forever. A little later, Tori's phone rang. It was Amy Roloff, her dear friend and fellow traveler. Tori, are you ready? Amy's excited voice was clear. Yes, Amy. It looks like the babies are coming today, Tori said. Oh my God, twins! I'm going to start dancing, Tori, Amy said. Her happiness and excitement spread joy to the other end of the phone. Then Tori and Jack's family got the news. Matt Roloff, Jack's father, said, this is a blessing for the Roloff family. I'll be at the hospital soon. Tori thought, it feels so good to see everyone so excited. Suddenly, around noon, Tori's labor started. Jack immediately took her to the hospital. They held each other's hands on the way. A mixture of emotions, fear, excitement, hope, was on Tori's face. When they arrived at the hospital, the doctor checked her over. The delivery time is very close, he said. Jack stood next to Tori. You're so wonderful. We'll make it together. An hour later, the first baby's cry was heard. The doctor said, a baby girl. Tears of joy welled up in Tori's eyes. Then the second baby was born. A baby boy, the doctor smiled. Jack always thought with tears in his eyes, we did it, Tori. Our family is complete. The nurse laid the two babies on Tori's chest. The little hands and feet were moving. Their faces were sleeping peacefully. Jack took out his phone and took a picture, then put it down and just watched. It was the best scene of his life. The sun was setting outside, and Tori and Jack sat together, welcoming the new life. These little souls were filling their lives with new light. Family reaction. The hospital lobby was filled with a strange sense of excitement, a mix of light and warmth. Tori and Jack slowly made their way through the crowd of patients. There was a peace in the hospital air, but also a slight excitement. Each step seemed to be taking them forward towards their new lives. Tori's pain had subsided, but her body was still tired. Jack held her hand and said, it's okay, Tori. We're by each other's side. Tori smiled lightly and said, I know, Jack, I don't know what I would do without you. Amy suddenly got a call on the phone. Tori, tell me about you and the kids, Amy said excitedly. We're in the hospital room. Everything's okay, Tori replied. Oh my God, I can't dance for joy. Twin babies. I want to be with you. Amy's excitement was so strong that Tori also smiled. Matt Roloff's call came. He said, Jack, you did a great job. You brought such joy to our family. Thank you. I'll be right back. Tori cried softly. See, Jack, everyone is so happy for us. Jack wasn't nervous at all. He held Tori's hand and said, we can do this together. Now just trust yourself. Entering the hospital room, we saw the medical staff calmly and skillfully taking care of the babies next to Tori. The nurses placed the newborn baby girl first and then the baby boy on Tori's chest. The little hands and feet were moving. Their eyes were deep in sleep. Jack was taking pictures, but then he put the phone down and just watched. He thought to himself, this is the most beautiful moment of our lives. The whole family started arriving at the hospital after hearing the news. Amy arrived first. Tears of joy filled her eyes. They're so beautiful, she said. As soon as Matt arrived, he said, Jack, you're going to be a great father. I'm so proud of you right now. Jeremy and Audrey stood in the doorway, excited. They wanted to see the children first. Jack and Tori were both overwhelmed with joy. The presence of the family was a great comfort to Tori. She felt like she was not alone. She had the person she had always loved by her side, and the whole family by her side. The discussion of the children's names began. Tori was thinking of Lily for her daughter and Oliver for her son. Jack smiled lightly and said, we'll decide on a name together. The important thing is that they are healthy. That evening, Tori and Jack were lost in their own little moments. They sat quietly watching the children. This new life, this new responsibility, everything was now in their hands. Jack suddenly looked at Tori and said, Tori, we can do it. This new chapter has brought us so much joy. Tori nodded and said, yes, Jack, really life is beautiful. Thus, night slowly fell in the hospital room. Everyone is immersed in their own happiness, and two little souls are making their lives complete. The journey to the hospital. As the afternoon sun grew hot, Tori's stomach suddenly felt tighter. The pain was growing, and Tori knew she needed to see the doctor right away. Jack quickly carried the bag to the car. As the car started, Tori held her stomach with her hand. Jack, it feels like it's time, she said. Jack smiled lightly. Okay, we're by each other's side. You can do it. The traffic was light, but Jack was driving very carefully. He looked at Tori and said, you know, I'm always by your side. Together we can do it. Tori smiled lightly. I know, Jack. Everything seems easier with you. Arriving at the hospital parking lot, they quickly entered the hospital lobby. The receptionist quickly gave them their room keys. Tori's heart was beating fast. The doctor entered the room and checked her over. Delivery time is coming soon. Are you ready? The doctor asked. Jack nodded. Yes, we're ready. The delivery was as tiring as it was exciting. The nurses stood carefully by Tori's side, watching everything. Fear and hope were mixed in Tori's eyes. Jack held her hand and said, you're strong. We'll make it together. The sound of the first baby's cries echoed inside. The doctor said, it's a girl. Tori said with tears in her eyes, is this real? Within minutes, the second baby was born. The doctor said, it's a boy. Jack stood there like a statue. He looked at the two little lives and said, we did it, Tori. Our family is complete now. The nurse placed the two babies on Tori's chest. They were sleeping peacefully. Jack took a picture, then put down the phone and just watched. It was the most beautiful moment of his life. The hospital room was bathed in the soft light of sunset. Tori and Jack sat together, welcoming the new life. The first cry. Tori's eyes filled with a strange joy. The first baby's cry echoed through the room, a small, soft voice like a crowd. The doctor announced, it's a girl and everything is normal. Tori closed her eyes for a moment and just listened to the melody, her heart filled with joy, fear, and an unknown peace. Jack stood beside her and held her hand. See, everything is fine. You did great, he said. The nurse placed the baby girl on Tori's chest. The little hands and head were moving, and her eyelids opened occasionally at the touch. Tori's tears didn't stop. She just kissed her. Within minutes, the doctor announced that the second baby was ready. A moment later, the baby boy's cry echoed through the room. Jack smiled with tears in his eyes. Tori, we have two lives. Our family is complete. Tori said slowly, they are part of our lives. The nurses cleaned and covered the babies. Jack took pictures, but his eyes were still fixed on the baby. He said to himself, this is the most beautiful moment of our lives. Tori held her little girl's hand and said, you will never be alone again. We will always be by your side. Jack looked at his son and said, and you, little man, You have brought a new light into our lives. We love you. The hospital room was filled with the soft light of sunset. Tori and Jack were sitting together for the first time, holding their two babies in their arms. These little souls were filling their lives with new light. The hospital room seemed to be at a standstill at this moment. Everything was beautiful, peaceful, and filled with love. First meeting. The hospital room has been filled with joy since morning. Tori and Jack are sitting with their two children in their arms. The baby girl and the baby boy are breathing lightly, sometimes moving their arms and legs. There is fatigue in Tori's eyes, but infinite joy amidst that fatigue. Jack sits next to her and says softly, "You did an amazing job, Tori. I see how beautiful they are." Tori smiled and said, "You know, I couldn't have done it alone. You were always there." At that moment, the hospital door opened. Amy Roloff entered the room first, tears of joy in her eyes, unspeakable joy on her face. "They are so beautiful," Amy continued. She looked at the baby girl and said, "Lily, you are a little princess." Matt Roloff also arrived at the hospital. As soon as he entered the room, he hugged Jack. "Jack, you did a great job. I am proud." Jeremy and Audrey came into the room a little late. They smiled at each other. "They're so amazing," Audrey said. The whole family stared at the two little souls. Laughter, tears, and excitement, all mixed together, filled the air in the room. Tori looked at the baby girl and said, "They're really ours. I can't believe it." Jack looked at the baby boy and said, "Oliver, you complete our lives. We love you." The nurses were taking good care of the little ones. They were coming to Tori, giving her all the help she needed. Tori said slowly, "The first touch with them is so beautiful." Towards evening, the room's light became softer. The soft light of the sunset was shining through the window. The whole family was sitting together. The babies were getting to know the whole family for the first time.